All right, let me move this out of the way. So, I wasn't going to go live. In fact, I'm on my way home from work, but I stopped. And I was listening to the radio. I was listening to the radio show Here and Now, so you can reference this yourself. There was a story called Media Literacy for the Young. And they were talking about how to help kids develop critical thinking skills and have more discernment when it comes to media and information. And this ties right into all the things I do, coaching and teaching, even a conversation I literally just had with one of my students at the end of the day. He's 7, by the way. Yesterday we were talking about hormones and being on screens, devices, and how it's not healthy, and how it brings up the dopamine. And it's so funny. I asked him today. I was like, oh, because he knew something about it. I didn't teach him, so I celebrate his parents for teaching some information about how our brain works, how maybe devices might not always be healthy for us. And he couldn't recall exactly where he remembered it from, but he definitely, it resonated with him yesterday. And so today, when I was listening to this story as I was driving, first of all, I had some critical words. I'm sorry. Like the interviewer, she just seemed really condescending. Speaking with the educator that she was interviewing. And this is where, for me, it leads in. People really underestimate children in a lot of ways. They either overestimate and underestimate at the same time. So I have taught kids from the moment that they are still in diapers up till teenage. Okay. I've seen kids at lots of different developmental levels. And so I can see in action, in real time, what a child is capable of doing and knowing and, being. And critical thinking can be taught as young as 5 years old, okay? And that's where I was having some feelings about this interview, because it made it seem like, well, kids are just not able to do that. Yeah, they are able to do that. They can have discernment as young as 5, maybe even younger, depending. But you have to give them the opportunity. And this is where, for me, it leads into spirituality, how we get information in the first place. There was also another story before this story on the radio, how I believe it was New Jersey beginning to teach media literacy and critical thinking skills. Thank goodness it's finally coming. I think a lot of adults need to partake in that, having discernment. Everything on a social media or wherever is not always truth. I saw a lot of things over 2020, and I saw a lot of things as not the stories themselves, but how it was affecting people I knew, affecting how people were acting and behaving, and it was quite disturbing. Okay? And I want to link all of this into how, if we are seemingly moving more into a spiritual reckoning, that when I am coaching people, I coach them to have discernment. No matter what field of spirituality you end up falling yourself into, don't get confused from leaving one modality into trickling into a different modality and getting attached to somebody being a leader. I was just, again, a few weeks ago, working with somebody who they were feeling a little defeated because they were looking for basically a leader. They were leaving one kind of idea of thought, which is fine. But then going into a different world of thought, but then looking for a leader to tell them what to do and how to think. And I was like, no, that's not how it works, especially not in the spiritual realm. You teach yourself how to think. You are the God, okay? I know that sounds crazy, y'all, but you are the one. You are God. You are a part of God. You have everything God also has. You can take information and question it. If there's ever been any entity out there that has told you to do what I say, don't question anything I say, then you need to question them and leave right away. Always question. That is what in the world of spirituality, please have some discernment. Okay? And like I said again, I'm so glad that at least at this particular classroom, again, you can listen to the show here and now. Today is January 19th. I'll probably link it in the description, but seriously, children are starting to learn this if there are educators out there willing to teach it. Parents need to realize that your child can learn to have discernment. And parents and families can also practice discernment. Okay? Question everything. Okay? Don't just put your child in front of a screen trusting whatever message is coming out. And I think for the most part, most parents do that. They do have some discernment. But even the device itself, have some discernment. Have some discernment. And with that, take care. Bye.